Good afternoon, it's 5 to live, 3:55 to be precise. Welcome to the garden. A complete contrast of weather situation than we had yesterday, but I don't care. It was too hot yesterday, blazing sun, beating down on me, and now it's raining. Needless to say, I've not done much around the garden today, and because the grass is so long, just walking kind of the, 60, 70 metres it could be. No, it's not that far. I'm not really sure. It's 100 foot long, so I bet like 70 foot. Shoes are all wet. Just from walking that short distance up to the top of the garden. Anyway, I doubt whether you'll be joining me in the outdoors. But wherever you are, pitch yourself up in a spacious area of your house. Have some external support by the side of you, and a chair in case you want to do any seated stuff. Look at the chicken, just like perching on my shoulder. She almost was. Right, I'm here all on my own. Just wait. Drum the thumb, drum the fingers. Here's one. When it takes a while for you lot to come on board, it always makes me think, am I on the right group? I must be on the right group. Here's Vivian. I can see you're here. I guess there's no cricket on today, because Paul was off watching cricket yesterday, I'm sure it was. No cricket today. They've probably been rained off, but you know, movement snacks don't get rained off, even if you're in the garden in the rain. Afternoon to you too, Ken. Welcome to this 4 p.m. sway and stretch routine. So bring forth and gossip. Have you got anything to report in? Have you had anything that's happened to you or been anywhere nice? Bob's still got his pajamas on. We've had a in day today. Neve's bedroom's just been completed on the decorations, so we've had the wallpaper up now. So wherever we've stuffed bits and pieces out of her bedroom, literally across the landing, in the spare room, bit in our room, bit in Willow's room. So everywhere's it was in a disarray, but now it is not. We have our feng shui back to the upstairs in our house now. Right, afternoon, Carol. You're looking like you're ready for a bit of a sway and stretch, maybe. What's going on then, Vivian? Afternoon, just getting the washing in before it rains. It's gone a bit dark. Yeah, it's a bit of a contrast of sky that you're seeing behind me today. Chickens are perfectly happy though. Napoleon's not that happy about being wet. He's had a wash today. He's had a little bit of a catty shampoo, spa day. He didn't like it though, he weren't that keen. We dunk him in the, what's it called? Oh, the cool box. The cool box is just tight and contained enough to slot a cat in and give it a bit of a scrub down. Right, Carol Kent's been doing a washing and ironing. Well done you. Feeling accomplished there then. Right, I think we're not far off the 3, 2, 1. Let me just have a quick look. Stay there. It's a 59. 1 more minute to go, or 30 seconds or so, and then we'll get going with our circulation booster. There's just, I don't know whether you can probably see my glasses, a little bit rained. Let's just... That's better. Right, here we go then. I'm doing Dave's sound effects, aren't I? Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon and welcome. It's 4 p.m. It's time to sway and stretch. You're with me, Kelsey Leverton from Later Life Training, and I bring to you fight or flight, and of those good old stretches that we repeat day in, day out. Today is Sunday, the 15th of May 2022. It's a posture check before we start moving, so take a good moment with you and your posture, find your way around it a little bit, lengthen it up, feel taller in your actual height before you start moving. I'm going to do the same. So external support for me is a spade dug in the ground. It's enough for me, but you might have something that's a bit more sturdy and fixed or firm. If you're holding on to it, have it in front of you or by the side of you, and start the foot pedals. Feel the roll through your foot as you move here. If you're in seated, lift up tall, take a little bit of a hip walk, lifting, stepping through the legs, trying not to leave the legs tucked too far behind you. And then once you're there, you're up and set, foot pedals or leg marches all the way to the end of this circulation booster in a couple of minutes time. If you've got a bit of a sound coming from how your feet are landing, there should be two sounds. You might not hear it, the softer the surface that you're marching on, of course. You can hear kind of two sounds. So this means it's toes, ball, heel. So let's think about getting in an arm. You can have one arm to work in at any one time, or you can bring both arms in together. Lifting up tall as you sit, and just notice how you feel before you let that second arm come into the mix. At any point you can go back to your external support and just work through the one side at a time. Of course, swapping to give the other side a turn as well. So keep going, steady, rhythmical pace, a continuous patter of movement through this 3 minutes of circulation boosting. If it's not stop-starty, then it will get the desired effect of just boosting your heart rate. You might need a few longer, deeper, extra breaths in here, and your body will start to feel warmer, and that's through the joints and specifically through the muscles that we'll be stretching in a bit. Right, steady yourself down then. Bring yourself to a comfortable standing position or a comfortable sitting position, giving the posture a little bit of an opportunity to switch off in seated. Sometimes stuff done in seated can feel very different and a little bit more challenging, in fact. So give the posture a bit of a switch off, let it rest, let it relax for a moment, and then we'll tell it to get back up into good posture again. Now, sway routine. You can be shifting the weight from one side of your bum to the other whilst you're sat, or with your feet just that little bit wider apart and the toes turned out, just so that it opens the hips a little bit. We can be shifting and a swaying. Okay, so if you remember, we've been building up this routine all week. It's fight with a bit of flight, and then finishing off with a bit of fight on the end. So when you're ready, move your arms through a comfortable position there and squeeze the muscles. Let the tension go as you reverse that circle, and then we're going to do that one more time, and then bring yourself to a seated or a standing central position and set your wings out. Have a little bit of a tilt, and you can bend through that knee if you like, and then swoop and set yourself balanced again. Dip the wing, and then away you go. All the pigeons are having a basing dance over there. Now, as you take these arms out wide, take a knee bend and a punch upwards there with your fist. Upwards there, and then from the back, punching forwards, and then punching forwards once again, and then back to our base. That's the finish of our sway routine. Let's take it twice through. I'll do one more in standing and one more in seated, but you can stay where you like, of course. Let's start with a couple of weight shifts before we add in the arms. Give a little bit of tension through the muscles when you cross them over, and then let that tension go as you round through and sway through again. Central position, lifting, bit of a tilt on the wings. You can lean to the side if you like, and then take a little bit of a swoop and a swoosh there, swoosh and a swish, and to the other side, just to get that symmetrical balance. Now the wings dip into an upwards punch, and the other side, and then pushing forwards with the knuckles facing forwards, and again take a pause. All right, I'm going to come into seated. Please feel free to stay where you are, or to give that contrast, come into seated. Have the feet out wide a little. Let's just do 2 shifts and sways before we go into our sway routine. Now listen to your shoulders. As you've done a couple of these now, you might be able to take your arms through a greater movement, a greater circle. Let's tilt, find your balance, and then swish it through, swooping through the air, and then to the other side, and again. All right, a little bit of a dip through the knees, or a dip through the posture. Up you go, coming under, and then coming straight forwards, and you can feel the movement through the trunk there as well. Take a pause. Now I'm going to stay in seated for most of the stretches, and then just finish off with a standing calf stretch. Feel free to stay stood up or come and join me in seated. So let's first of all lift up tall, feel the space between your ribs and your hips. Let your arms hang down by your side and just find their way round to either the side of your hips or towards the back of the chair a little bit. Now I've got arms on the chair today, so I need to kind of weave my arms through and lift up tall. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. Lengthen through your neck, so we're not feeling crunched over or flexed over as we do this stretch. We're really feeling like everything's opening up. Great for posture and any actions where you're needing to reach behind you, either with one arm at a time or both. Flexibility in the chest will allow that to be more comfortable, and it will give your shoulders and your upper body reaching actions a little bit more give as well. Pause and relax. Okay, through the upper side stretch then, we're going to work through the lift of the elbow, feeling a bit of pull into the back of your arm. It doesn't matter if yours isn't as high and matching my position. Everybody's got a different amount of mobility and flexibility around the shoulder and the muscles around it. So work with what you've got. See if you can lengthen through your trunk. Maybe even take a little bit of a sideways tilt, a little bit like we did with the wings a moment ago. And you can either do a single arm extra reach. You could stay here just for a few extra seconds, or if your arm struggles to get up on its own, you can take it through a guided double arm reach, and you'll feel the lengthening through the trunk as you sit up tall and get those arms above your head. Second side then, hand towards the shoulder. You might want to walk the fingers over. Just notice where you can reach. Can you reach your neck, your head, your shoulder blade? How's the hand reaching over, and where can it get to? A little bit of an extra lift through the trunk, and when you're ready, if you're ready, either stay here, reach up with an extra reach, 3 or 4 seconds. It's all we need there in that full arm reach, or a double arm reach. You're trying to lift your rib cage up and away from your hips. There we go, helping with anything that's reaching above, anything that's reaching around to the back of your head and neck. Okay, back of thigh stretch I'm going to do next. Now if you have found yourself a little bit further back, hip walk forwards. so that it's just your bum, not the backs of your thighs on the chair. This way we can get a bit more straightening out of the knee. Loose ankle, lengthen posture. You've just felt that lifting, lengthening as we stretched upwards. Put that into place again and then tilt. Now this is a tilt. Notice whether you've gone into a hunched, rounded C-shaped position, and just take it up, back and down. Support for your top half here is where we can have both hands on the bent knee. Some of you might feel it more so in the back of the thigh, back of the knee. Some of you might feel it around the lower back area as you kind of lift your hip and extend your posture as well. Now to get a good stretch, I need to go a bit further forwards, but if you found your stretch point, then stay where you are. That's better. Should feel a bit of mild tension and discomfort. Nothing too horrible though for your body to experience. And relax, recover, and rest that leg back. Let's prepare for the other side. Straight knee, loose ankle. If our ankles are loose and our foot's relaxed on the end of our leg, then we will feel this more in the back of the knee and up the hamstrings, rather than it tweaking into our calf muscle. So lift, 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 tilt, lean, hold after you've found your point. Willow's just arrived home. Press a bit further if you feel you can. Relax, recover. Back to base. All right, here's your seated option, pretty much the same as what we've just been doing with the leg out straight, but the toes are pulled back this time. So pull them back, sit up tall and enjoy that stretch for the calf. Here in standing, you might want to hold on to something and stride back. Get a decent stride back, but try not to open or turn out the hip. Keep the heel and toes in line with the hips facing in the direction that your knee is bending in as well. Couple of really good stretches to do if you've been on your feet for a long time, or if you've done a lot of walking. Your muscles will get tired and tight, and just to crowbar in a couple of these at the end of whatever you've been doing, when your muscles are nicely warmed up as well. Bend the front knee, back leg straight, lunge into it a little bit, and just check on the back toes, just to make sure that they've not turned themselves out at all. Nice sensation there of stretching, lengthening. If you're using your breathing, you can relax into the stretches a bit more and feel that calming through the mind as well as you focus on breath. All right, one more stretch to do then. I'm going to come right back in front of you lot now. We're going to do the next stretch that you quite like doing as well. Wow, look at that cloud behind me at the moment. So get your head positioned in the middle. Take your ear towards the shoulder. Feeling the lengthening into the neck. Our neck, shoulders, upper back areas hold a decent amount of tension in, and tension can build, tightness can build if we're stressed or if we've just been using our arms a lot with whatever we've been doing. All right, so that's part of the stretch, and the second part is bringing the chin downwards, getting the head to hang, and now the stretch is more along the spine from the base of your skull. Looks like you fell asleep in your chair, but you haven't really. Lifting tall. Let's reset the head, neck, and then go into the other side. It's been quite refreshing out here actually, with a little bit of spit-spotting drizzly rain coming down on me. It is getting a little bit more now. Hang on, let's just do the falling asleep. One, chin towards collarbone. Let your head hang there. So the weight of your head is pulling in the stretch at the back of the neck. All right, up we come. I'm going to need to open my eyes. There we have your 4 p.m. Thanks, a few of you just jumped in. Carolyn, George, Jill, Gloria, great to have you here. Thanks for joining us on this 4 p.m. The final one of this week. These weeks don't half go fast, don't they? I think we've got a little bit more chill through our schedules next week. I certainly have anyway. I'm not going to be tearing around quite as much and yeah, booking extra flights and things. But so hopefully you will have a bit more of a normal schedule next week. Anyway, thank you for your complete participation across all of these movement mission days, weeks, months and years. I'll leave you to your Sunday. Have a lovely one. Take care. See you tomorrow.